Yeah. Okay. Welcome, folks. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech hakol na'im b'dvarei.
Amen.
Today is Hey Tavis. It's a Yom Tov. It's a special day. Hey Tavis, the fifth day of the month of Tavis in 1987 was the day that came down the judgment in the Brooklyn Superior Courts. I think it was Brooklyn. There's the Superior Courts in Brooklyn, if I recall correctly, that the Svarim, the Chabad library, belongs to the Rebbe, belongs to Chabad. The Rebbe belongs to Chabad. um, I remember that day very clearly. Running off from Montreal, many of us went off to New York just to be part of the celebration. But this was something very special, very important. So today is a good day to learn. And today is also a day you should buy Sfardim, holy books. So you can go on kahot.org. I think it's .org. Or if you have another place to buy holy books. Today's a good day to do that. Yeah. That became the custom of this day, is to buy books on this day. So actually in Kahot, they have every year 40% sale, up to 40% sale. So it's a good time to do that. I'll mention it again. Okay, so we're in the Maimer. We have throughout Jewish history a rivalry that ultimately will lead to a unity between Yehuda and Yosef. So we have it in our parsha. We have the rivalry because it says Yehuda approaches Yosef, right? And he speaks to him harshly. Of course, it's about his brother. Binyamin, that has been taken by Yosef. And for that he's speaking strongly, right? So there's that, if you will, rivalry. I don't know if that's the right word, rivalry, but and actually, if we add throughout history, we have the king from we had the king from Yehuda, and there was a king from the 10 tribes, which was from Yosef, from Ephraim. So, and it went back and forth. We see that the Mishkan of Shiloh was in the territory of Yosef, in Ephraim's territory, for 369 years. And then the Holy Temple, first one was 410 years, second was 420 years in the territory of, or rather under Jerusalem, which is, of course, the city of David, King David, from the tribe of Yehuda. So we have this back and forth between Yosef and Yehuda. Ultimately, as the Haftorah speaks about this Shabbos, that there will be a unity between the two. But we're speaking about it in spiritual terms, mystical terms. We spoke about the difference between two approaches in divine service: down, up, down, right? We see that the world is created in a duality: up, down, right, left, in, out, light, dark, good, bad. So in that duality, there's a duality in the service of God: the up-down approach, the down-up approach. Yosef is the up-down approach. Yud is the down-up approach. What do we have in our story here? The down-up approach, Yehuda, is approaching the up-down, meaning the one that's what's the word? The one that's permanent is the up-down, and that's why the one that's down-up is approaching. So now, okay, we've dealt with that in different manners. Now we're going to go and explain this in another manner, in the difference between the study of Torah and the action of a mitzvah. Study Torah is an up-down effect, because essentially it's God's words, right? It's his words. That's up-down. Yes, we've got to filter it. We've got to put it through our minds, and we've got to understand it, and so on and so forth. It's kind of, 100%. 100%. But it begins, there isn't just one direction. The question is, where does the direction begin, so to speak, right? So a Torah begins from above. And that's why the first thing in study of Torah is one's bittul, self-effacement. So that way you can receive that which is from above, right? All right. So action, on the other hand, is bottom up. What does it mean it's bottom up? It's the bottom of the person. What does it mean it's the bottom of the person? It's the lowest power an individual has. Might be your greatest power. Greatest and lowest are not the same idea. Lowest means, the capability of speaking is much greater than it, and the capability of doing an action, right? Of me taking this cup, saying l'chaim. The act of taking the cup is much a much less of a motor skill than me speaking right now, or me thinking coherently is an even greater, more difficult task. So action, taking action, is of course essential. We're not talking about the value of it, but the skill of it is much less of a skill. So in that sense, it's the lowest power of the individual. It makes the most impact, but it's the lowest power. That's bottom, right? That's bottom top, especially when we're talking about mitzvahs. It's about dealing with the physical thing of this world, whether it's, tefillin. This is which are hides of an animal they're using to make a mitzvah. So our divine service with God is bottoms up with the material world, the physical act that we go up and connect to the divine. So here is the debate, if you will. Here is the, if you will, the rivalry, spiritual rivalry or unity. So Talmud speaks about the study and says now Talmud is great. Why? Because it brings to action. From this, we see that action is the main thing. Oh, excuse me. Boy, sorry. Even though I'm much better, um, I'm not completely better. Baruch Hashem, though. Um, much to thank for, to God. Okay. So action is the main thing. The study brings to it. It is the effect from which, in the time to come, what will be great will be action. Today, what's great is study of Torah. I I feel terrible. It's interesting. One or two things get better. Another thing, seems to get worse. Uh-huh. You know what the bottom line is? We're not in control of those things. And the only thing that we're in control of is how we respond. So I'm much more alert and much more have vitality. Um, but I didn't have sniffles yesterday, and I was like, you know, I was beat. Like I didn't have enough energy. As some of you might recall, I was teaching Rambam, and it was like, oh, it was just too much. I couldn't. Like my head and just I wasn't, So now, much stronger, but I didn't have sniffles. I had congestion. I didn't have sniffles. And now I have some sniffles. No, no. Gamze Yavar, as we say. This too shall pass, God willing. Yeah. And it should all be good. Okay. I'm gonna have to we'll have to continue this. It's a bit too lengthy. The teachings right now we don't have the time. All right. Good to see so many people here this morning.